everybody, it is I, your all-time favorite pathetic loser, here with another video. This is a cooking video. And now, a little bit of a background on this. First of all, before we go any further, sometimes you'll notice I'm looking at you, and sometimes you'll notice I'm not. That's because I'm still a lonely, pathetic loser. Since last we talked, I actually had a couple of dates with a young woman, and 2 dates was all it took for her to dump my ass like yesterday's garbage. Anyway, well, I don't blame her, you know. What that means is I'm still a bachelor. I'm always going to be a bachelor. I'm going to die alone. And that's, you know, hey, good for me. So, I cook bachelor food, which means that most of what I make is pretty damn simple. And what I'm making today is Mexican meat. Here's the backstory on that. When I was growing up, just a kid in Ohio, I used to love it when my parents would take a drive up to this little town just about 35 miles north of where I grew up, because I knew they were going to be getting cats and dogs and people's pets so they could grind up the meat and make Mexican meat. That's what we're doing today. And my mom and dad, my mom always got this package of Mexican spices. And she'd brown up some meat, and then she'd throw in the package. We're not using that today. I'm going to show you how incredibly easy it is to make your own Mexican spices, or to spice it so it tastes Mexican. This isn't really Mexican, honestly. Most people in Mexico can't afford regular meat. So they tend to make really simple dishes. And usually they're not based on beef, or actually in my case today I'm using buffalo, but it's sort of that American Mexican, and you know the taste I'm talking about. You love that taste. I do too. By the way, I'm using 2 cameras today because recently I made an instructional video, and it failed. The card failed. I went through the whole thing, and the card that was in it, the SD card, something went wackadoodle in it. So now I'm making a backup at the same time I'm making the original video, and that's why I'm doing this twice. So you have to be a little forgiving. I'm going to give you a heads up. Here's the clue. I just thawed out. I just nuked 2 pounds of ground buffalo, because what I'm going to show you today freezes beautifully, which means that when you make this up, it's really easy to take the leftovers, throw it in a freezer bag, throw it in the freezer, and then you have it. All you have to do is warm it up for burritos, for tacos. Today I'm going to use it to make some a nacho dip. Thought I had salsa, but I don't. If I had salsa, I would actually make loaded nachos, but I'm just going to make a nacho dip. I actually have a little bit of that cheese that they make for dipping. I'm going to add this to it, and it's going to be delicious. Today I'm going to be using a lot of stuff from Pampered Chef, and I've done that before. So forgive me since I'm alone, it's not like I have a camera person here to help me out. So I am going to be using mainly the Pampered Chef wok. Now this wok, if you don't mind me repositioning my cameras here real quick, this wok is a very cool wok. It's a wok because of the shape. It's basically just like a big saucepan, but the shape, because it's curved, it helps to concentrate the heat into the pot. This particular one, there's another company that makes something very similar to this now. I don't know how that happened. The licensing got messed up or something. I bought mine from Pampered Chef for a couple of reasons. Pampered Chef has been around for decades, and they guarantee everything. This has a lifetime guarantee on it. I don't know about the other one. It might be the exact same product. I just don't know. But this one I know has a lifetime guarantee. It has this non-stick Teflon in it, and it's in a hexagonal shape. So if you look closely at the pattern, and I can't see if this is focusing correctly or not, but you can kind of see the metal coming through the Teflon. And that's because that metal conducts electricity. Not electricity, conducts heat. So you get the Teflon non-stick, and you also get all that nice heat out of it that's not going through the Teflon directly from the metal. It's wonderful. Okay, let's get started. And by the way, the other thing about, you're going to see me using this a lot, this is the spatula. This is the Pampered Chef spatula. This is why I like Pampered Chef. If you're going to spend more money on Pampered Chef. But looking and feeling and working with this spatula, it is so clear this is a high quality product. This is not a spatula you're going to have to replace in 4 or 5, 6 years because it's worn out. This is a lifetime purchase, and what's more, it's the kind of a purchase where I'm going to be able to hand that down to the children that I'm never going to have because nobody will date me. Because this is a legacy product. It is made that well. I'm also going to be using this. I've seen this elsewhere as well lately. This is my friend swears by this. She uses this as a spatula. You heard my microwave go off, which means that my meat probably is going to have a couple of tough spots on it, a couple spots that are not thoroughly heated, not thawed. This is a smasher, basically. This is going to smash those out so that I don't have to wait for that to thaw. But before I start that, first foremost, oh, and by the way, the secret ingredient for Mexican cooking, if I can find it, ground cumin. Get yourself a jar of ground cumin and just open it and smell it, and you will recognize that is Mexican spice. On top of that, because I'm not using a little package, I can add anything I want and customize the flavor to the way I want it to be, like using hot chili oil in my wok. This hot chili oil, actually usually you would associate it with Chinese food. But I am going to use it in my Mexican dish. Now, I have a gas stove, and yes, there's a lot of concern. No, the Democrats are not going to take away my gas stove. Anyone who believes that is an idiot. And yes, if I just called you an idiot, I stand by it. Yes, it gives off toxic gases. It's a fire. Fires are extreme in their temperature and their reactions, and therefore, yes, they give off a lot. Anytime you have a fire, you're going to have a lot of weird side reactions. You're going to let it get a lot of chemicals you don't want. You know what? If you've ever had a fire in a fireplace, if you've ever driven a car, if you've ever made s'mores, guess what? That has carcinogens in it. My body, your body, our bodies are designed to weed out carcinogens. So I'm not going to worry about it. I don't have it so often that I think it's going to be a problem. So, my choice for cooking, gas. You know, you can criticize me if you want. I don't care. This is my choice. I understand the risks. When you cook something, you don't want to throw it immediately on high heat. Put it on medium. Medium high, medium low. There's no reason. The only reason you ever really need a stove on high is if you're boiling water and you want it to boil quickly. Otherwise, give your food a chance, man. Now, one of the reasons I'm making this today is because I happen to have an extra bag of frozen onions. I love frozen onions. You throw them in the freezer and they're good to cook up anytime. Are they as good as fresh cut? No. But they're good for things like this. And I'm making 2 pounds of meat. This package is really probably too much. But that's okay, I'm making 2 pounds, so this will work out fine. I'm going to throw these in the wok, get those started first. And yes, if you honestly believe that people are cooking pets in Springfield, you're also kind of an idiot. Don't fall for that. I am so tired of politicians who don't really have any real solutions, real policies in mind to solve the problems we do have, turning to just fear. I am not going to vote for one candidate because I'm afraid of voting for the other. There has to be more than that. It has to be an intelligent discussion, and I am not falling for garbage. Okay, and you don't have to agree with me. This is not a political post, although I'm making it one. I should stop. But that's how I feel. I don't want to vote for fear. I want to vote for policy and for change. Okay. Let's add our ground beef, ground buffalo in this case. And like I say, yeah, this is still kind of frozen. Still has frozen spots. So I'm going to switch from my spatula to my Pampered Chef pounding tool. Again, if you get the version that I saw recently in kind of a discount store, one of those big stores, I'm not going to name the name, but you know, the one that has everything under the sun for sale. This is a quality. This is all plastic. This is not metal. But you can tell it's thicker than what you'll find in that other store. It's better constructed. It's just a better tool. My friend swears by it. I like it. I prefer just plain old fashioned spatulas, but she uses this as a spatula when she cooks. And there, we're already started. Oops, stir this up a little bit. Now ordinarily I should throw in some green peppers, but I've never found frozen green peppers. And I don't have any on hand. So no green peppers today. We can live without it. It's fine. I'm not worried about scraping up the pan because my pan has a lifetime guarantee on it. Now, if you heat the pan up too quickly, it will brown. It'll burn the Teflon. They do not replace it for that, but that's nothing but discoloration. That's all that is. I'm going to turn it up to medium-high now, a little bit. There's high. There's high. So medium, little over medium, a little less than medium-high. A little more than medium. Call it medium plus a third. Now, all I'm doing is browning this meat. As long as I'm working on this, we can kind of start spicing it, can't we? I don't see why not. I really don't like that noise it makes when you scrape it along the bottom, though, I have to admit. That sound kind of drives me nuts. Oh, and my cat Star, that is her getting her supper. I have her supper on a timer. I have her breakfast on a timer. Her lunch I give her, and I give her a midnight snack. She gets fed too much, if you want to know the truth. I'm having a little trouble getting the onion down from the walls. Whoop! Lost a little onion there. So while we're cooking, let's go ahead and start adding some spices. First spice I want to add is garlic because, well, garlic. There it is. I can use garlic powder. I often use garlic powder, but I happen to have a jar of chopped garlic in the refrigerator. Ooh, there it is. Anyway, let's just add a little bit of chopped garlic. I don't want to add too much. Just a little bit of chopped garlic. Ha! Go ahead, criticize me for the amount of garlic I add. You do the same thing. You won't know it. Mix that in. Ooh, getting a little bit of red fluid there. That's buffalo blood. Blood. Any of you all having trouble with your mirrors at home? I don't know why, but for some reason lately my mirrors do not show my reflection. I think they're broken or something. Yeah, it's coming along well. Okay. Still some pink spots, but we're getting there. Now, main ingredient, ground cumin. I'm going to add a goodly amount of this because this is the main spice. But like I say, when you spice it up yourself, you can add anything that you want. Ooh, that smells good. I love that. For example, you might want to add a little bit of salt. I don't usually add a lot of salt, but I'll add a little bit just to pick up the flavor a little bit of black pepper. Can't go wrong with black pepper. If you're writing this down, don't. This is not an actual recipe. This is just creativity. I'm just fooling around. I'm just having fun. I know the flavor I'm shooting with. And I'll tell you something else. One of the best ways, in my humble opinion, to learn about spices is something like this. Don't go to a recipe. This is just for quick ideas, what should be in there. Okay, ground cumin, all right. The main way to learn recipes is your olfactory senses. My apologies to anyone out there who may have lost their sense of smell due to COVID. But now I'm starting to smell my meat. And I can add what I want. So, if I don't know how something smells, I will smell it. For example, here's allspice. Now, allspice is not every spice all mushed together. Allspice is actually a plant. This is the spice made from the allspice plant. And I'm going to smell that and ask myself, does this smell like it goes with what I'm making? Oh yeah. Whoa, that was too much allspice. Well, that's a problem too. I'm not measuring things out. What else might be good? I'm not going to add cayenne because I'm going to end up adding red peppers. Let's try cloves. Do cloves belong in my Mexican meal? Yeah, that smells like that'll complement the flavor well. Cloves, I'm told, are the most commonly abused drug in prisons. What they do is they take ground cloves, a whole bottle of it, mix it with hot water to make a kind of a tea. They drink it all down in one big gulp. And sure enough, there's a hallucinogen in cloves. No, not cloves, nutmeg. Sorry, nutmeg. And they will trip. They will have hallucinations. And then they'll have terrible gastrointestinal difficulties for the next week and a half. So don't do that. nutmeg in this. Okay, let's see. Where do I stop here? I got cumin, chipotle. Oh, chili. I want to add some chili. Yeah. Chili is good. That complements well the Mexican flavor of the cumin. Fennel is wrong. We already added garlic. Yada yada yada. What about cloves? Should we add some ground cloves? Yes, we should add some ground cloves. Let's see. I'm going to turn this down a wee bit now. Back down to a little less than medium. I don't mind losing some of that water in there. Look at that. I'm going to have a lot to throw in the freezer. I'm not going to need that much for supper tonight. Like I say, throw this out with some warmed up refried greens, with things like chopped onions, and shredded cheese, and have your very own make your own burrito night. I used to love that. I used to have burritos. Let's see, don't eat paprika, it doesn't make sense. I already added onions, red peppers. This is how we're going to spice it up. We're going to add red peppers. I actually grew my own red peppers last season. Red peppers are easy to grow and they are just beautiful. You get these dark green leafy plants with bright red peppers on them, and it's gorgeous. If you have a home garden inside, grow yourself some red peppers. You'll love the way they look. You'll love the way they taste. Pluck them off the vine and just let them dry, and you'll have dried red peppers. Anything else I want to add here? That doesn't make sense. Let's not add that. Sage? Do I want sage? Oh, I don't want sage. I don't think so. I'm down to the end of my spice list. Well, maybe a little bit of sage. Just a pinch. So, 2 things are left. Once I have them all mixed up, there are only 2 things remaining. First of all, I need to put on some pants. Remember, important safety tip, never stir fry in the nude. I'm going to turn this down a little more. Halfway and medium low. I want it to start burning. The water, the moisture is starting to dry up, evaporate off. It is smelling miraculous. So, let's do a taste test. This is what I end up with. Can you see that? Again, I'm doing 2 videos here in case one of them fails. Need some more ground cumin. Like I say, ground cumin is kind of the key ingredient for Mexican cooking. I added so many other spices that it kind of drowned out the cumin. And you don't want that. That's not good. But what I intend to do now is take that cheap jar of dipping cheese that I got the last time I went shopping, put in that little pan that's sitting right there on my stove. I'm going to add some of my meat. Then I'm going to let it cool down. I'm going to throw it into a freezer bag, and I'm going to have meat, Mexican meat, ready for any time I want burritos or tacos or Mexican salad. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Very hot. But other than that, I am